The auction klaxon blared, its harsh bleat scattering Dex's thoughts like startled birds. Across the concourse, Tugster's polished boots crunched on deck plating, Noshin crew in tow. Mel's lens contracted to a razor-thin slit. Game on.
Kevx booms. I call this auction to order, all bidders to register and verify account funding, raise your numbered paddles to make bids, wait for numbered confirmations of bids as we go. This is a reject unwanted stock sale on behalf of the station vendors. All lots are, as is condition. No refunds. Kevx calls the first lots, no reserves here. What am I bid? Lot 1 full pallet miscellaneous engine parts, most rusty. 100, yes, paddle 51, 150, any takers last call, clack, sold P51, 100C. Lots to 30 went much the same, disinterested crowd. Kevx hustling the tire kickers. Lots 31 up drew more attention. Bids started at 300 but barely reached 500. Come on folks, good value among this gear, some rare finds to be had, beating it up. Warming to his task starts the 40s, hasn't made commission yet, tries opening bids at 500, some interest now. Tugster, P86, shows up, Dex, P94, stays still but awareness peaks. Kevx knows the players just entered the ring, takes on a wheedling tone, gentlemen, welcome, calls lot 43, as new, servo motors 6 boxes, original packaging, got to be worth 5k, new parts always fetch a premium. Start you at 2k, takers, P86, 2.5, P74, 3, P105, 3.5, P86, 4, P105, 4.5, P86, 5k. Anyone, last call, clack, sold to the Commodore 4.5k. And so it went. Tugster won 2 other bids totaling 5.5k, he was in for 10k, of his 80k line of credit, leaving 70k. There were several other items he wanted and resolved to spend no more than 5k, should snack the Seraph at 65k. Kevx had his base pay, everything else was a bonus, so he revved it up thinking it would help his cause. Did the reverse though, folks backed up, in the shuffle. Dex and Tugster locked eyes briefly, a wary flat stare. The auctioneer's amplified voice crackled through the sector like a misfiring thruster. Lot 47B, Seraph class Navcom, firmware allegedly wiped. Kevx's grin showed too many teeth as he kicked the dusty unit. Opening at 500 creds. Bid fast, folks, Tugster smiled. He had wiped it, pumped the bid anyway, 1k, P86, 1.5, P94, 2000. Any takers? No, sold to Captain Dex 1.5k, the play had worked. Tugster had just ripped Dex for 1k gratis, he chortled, fool, but then he thought, why, light bulb here, Dex was going for the Seraph, this was parts. Tugster was annoyed, but confident, he could outbid Dex any day, the reserve was under 50k, he had plenty of runway, or so he thought, maybe I can pump him again. What else does Dex want? Full attack mode, next bid. Lots up to the 90s were well supported, Kevx in his element was relaxed smooth now, moving swiftly through the inventory. Then calls lot 94A, crystal expansion set, unknown provenance, specific narrow bandwidth not tested, but if you know your crystals. This is a steal at 1k, P94, 1.5, P86, 2.0, P94, 2.5k, P86. This is irrational, Tugster thought, but I can pump twice more. 3k, P94, pressure's on for Dex, 3.5, P86, he really wants this, again, make it hurt. 4k, P94. Tension builds, the room goes quiet, Dex is steady, Kevx barks. The call is with you, Commodore. Nah, too rich, chuckles just audible, you overpaid 3k. Sold to the Captain, 4,000 credits, thank you.
Tugster's smirk faltered, watching as Dex's fingers brushed Mel's chassis in silent triumph. He then realized the imperative in the bidding. Across the deck, Linda materialized beside a support column, her knowing wink carrying more tactical data than Mel's entire threat assessment. The Seraph Scout gleamed under spotlights like a provocation.
Moving on, larger equipment now, fabricated items, sold to builders and workshops. He discharged them quickly. The final lot 102 Seraph class Scout is called, inspections have been made and established, interested parties should move to the front. Reserve has been set at 48.5k, who will start, P202, 50, P94, 55, P202, 60, P94. That went quick, thought Tugster, next bid should win, 65k, P86, interest at 70,000. The bid is with you, Captain, are you in? Decide, yes, P94, 75k, P86, Dex is puzzled, Tugster is sweating. Dex steps up holding his paddle, ordered call on the last bid. Dexter's fingers tightened around his paddle as Kevex hesitated, sensing the shift in tension. Across the room, Tugster's confident smirk cracked, his credit line was stretched thin. And Dexter's audit call threatened to expose his bluff. Kevex worries at his touchpad, looking up the Commodore's remaining credit, short, ceiling breach. Then checks Dex, to be safe, yes is good for it, only one valid bid remains. His commission was safe. Tidy profit here. The crowd held its breath, waiting for the auctioneer's verdict. Commodore? Kevex intones, rules of the auction are that credit must exist to cover the bid. I'm good for it, Tugster shouts, scrambling to reach his accountant, who whines. No Commodore, you are tapped, I cannot raise a further 50k, this must stop, I can't care how you're embarrassed. Yes, Kevex booms, lot 102 now resolves on the last good bid, which is P94. Congratulations, Captain Dex. For the sum of 70,000 credits, you are the new owner of this, trash bucket. This concludes the auction, thank you all for your interest, successful bidders, please attend the cashier and make your settlements.
Dex exhaled sharply, decompressing, watching Tugster storm off through the stunned or amused crowd. His fingers hovered over the expansion set housing, he could feel a faint resonance. Why? Mel's chip, warm, alive, hers. Dex's grip on the paddle loosened as the reality of his victory settled in. 70k for the Seraph Scout, realistic price. The play, however, was the statement. His thumb brushed Mel's siding again, this time in silent celebration. We did it, he projected. His gaze flicked to Linda, who was already weaving toward them with a trader's knowing smirk. The game wasn't over. It had just leveled. Get this wrapped up here, we're too exposed, he muttered under his breath, more to himself than anyone. The auction hall's fluorescence buzzed overhead as he strode toward the settlement desk, dodging a scowling Tugster crony. His implant flickered with Mel's incoming diagnostics, fuel allocations, thruster schematics, but he swiped them aside. One problem at a time. First the ship, then the upgrades, then, whatever the hell this was between them. Dex held a deadpan look, tossed his credit chip to the clerk. And add a hazard fee, he added. Pretty sure I just bought a target. Mel, let's get the Seraph loaded and prepped for relocation. She was still crew and he was the captain, right?
Linda's heels clicked against the deck as she slid into Dex's personal space, her smirk sharp enough to cut tension. That was expensive theater, Captain, she murmured, her breath warm against his ear as she slipped him a data chip. Tugster's encrypted financials, Audrey lifted them mid-auction. But worth it. Her fingers brushing his lapel, unconsciously. He's definitely going to react badly. Glowy, do you agree?
Dex caught Linda's wrist before her fingers could retreat, pressing the data chip back into her palm with a grin that didn't reach his eyes. Keep it, for now. Tugster's got ears everywhere, and I'd rather not be caught holding his dirty laundry when he snaps. His voice dropped lower, thumb grazing her pulse point. But tell Audrey she's earned several sundowner cocktails. He leaned in closer for a side hug, briefly making cheek contact. I have to get going. Until tomorrow evening then. He turned toward Mel, whose lens was flickering rapidly between the data feed and Linda's proximity. Prep the Seraph for immediate departure, he ordered, then hesitated. And Mel. Run a full diagnostic on those crystals before integration. I want to know if they're humming before we plug them in. The unspoken, and if they're humming because of you hung between them like a charged particle.
Mel's lens pulsed a deep violet, her panels contracting audibly as she processed Dex's unspoken implication. Pre-start already initialized, Captain. The crystals exhibit harmonic resonance at 432.957 Thz, a frequency consistent with my existing architecture. Yes, humming. Green pop flash excitement. Relocation protocols engaged. Seraph Scout's hangar coordinates locked. Then, softer, and Captain. Thank you. For the crystals. For the consideration. Her panels clicked shut with finality, but not before her optic lingered on his fingers. The drone accelerated ahead, scanning the Seraph's hull with methodical precision. Structural integrity at 89%. Thrusters require recalibration, but she'll fly. Tugster's cronies are monitoring us. Probability of sabotage, 62%. Suggest you stay close during pre-flight diagnostics. Her tone was clinical. The flicker in her lens was not.
Dex watched Mel zip ahead, her violet pulse lingering in his vision like a ghost of emotion. He caught Linda's smirk from the corner of his eye, her knowing look prickling his skin, but he ignored it, striding toward the hangar with purpose. Sabotage risk at 62%? That's practically an invitation, he muttered, rolling his sleeves up. Mel, sync the navcom to my implant. If Tugster's boys try anything, I want to feel it before they do. Full proximity alert, permission to fire, stun only. His fingers twitched at the memory of the crystal's resonance against his palm, that strange warmth humming in sync with Mel's core. He glanced back at Linda, tossing her a half salute.